You ever feel like fishing is getting boring for you? Like just standing there waiting for the fish? Well, I'd like to introduce you to noodling.
Look at my arm.
This is the act of standing in shallow murky water, sometimes smelly, trying to locate an underwater hole, which is kinda hard to find as these bodies of water are pretty opaque. Afterwards, you reach your hand into the hole, wait for a catfish to bite your hand, and pull them out. That sound fun to you? Are you interested? What happened to the old traditional ways of just using a rod? Why are we putting ourselves in harms to catch these fishes that can weigh up to 98 pounds? Yes, these catfishes can weigh up to 98 pounds. And when they bite, they will tear your skin. These catfishes actually have teeth. They're called cardiforms. It's like hundreds and hundreds of rows of teeth up and down their mouth. I'm way too of a pussy to do this. I just don't like pain. And it's like the shock factor of like, oh, you're putting your hand in this hole and all of a sudden, chomp! The shock of pain just comes out of nowhere. To me, that is so freaking scary. When I go to the nurse office or something and I need to take like a shot on my arm, usually they recommend you to, hey, look away. I can't do that. I always look at when the nurse is about to shoot the shot into my arm because I want to anticipate the pain coming in and getting ready. I don't like the shock factor. This is literally shock factor. You literally don't know when they're gonna literally bite your arm off. There's actually technique to this. You don't just let them bite you and pull them out. No, you actually let them bite you and don't try to jerk your hand out of their mouth, as it can literally scrape your whole skin off. When you get one in your arms, you actually have to use both your arms to pull them out as quick as possible and rest the fish on your shoulders. If you don't do this as fast enough, they will do a roll. Kind of like how when crocodiles, when they bite into their prey, they do a roll. These fishes also do that. And when they do, oh boy, you're gonna have broken bones and potentially permanent wrist problems. Also, the noodling community is freaking insane. They will do this until they die. I found this horror story when I was doing this research in 2002. Take a look at this. My worst horror story is the time when I was feeling around in what I thought seemed to be a very large dugout in the bottom. An enormous snapping turtle clamped down on the part of my hand between the thumb and middle finger, including inhaling the entire forefinger. There was no mistake what I had on. Yes, I forgot to mention, there are snapping turtles in these bodies of water, and sometimes even water snakes. And they still do this. And then the dude responded with, without any limb losses? And then he said, nope, managed to keep all my fingers, just lost a little skin and some meat. No big deal. What the heck you mean no big deal? You lost some part of your fingers. What? They're crazy. They are crazy. I mean, look at this YouTube thumbnail. Okay, and then look at the title. We nearly died, and then kept noodling. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. Yep. But that's enough of talking about fishes biting my arms and ripping a hand off. Let's move on to something more relaxing, more old. I'm talking about collecting stamps. A philatelist are people who enjoy the act of collecting and studying stamps. But there's more to it than just collecting stamps. Each stamp has a history, culture, geography, and a story behind them that these people enjoy figuring them out. Some of them are varieties that are not identified by sellers, so they can be discovering new stamps that have not been discovered yet before. They also appreciate the art on these stamps. And like a scavenger hunt, there are stamp books out there that have empty slots on them that you can fill them in with the same stamps that are suggested on the book. This hobby is a more older hobby, usually for boomers, but it can also attract people who like traveling, but they can't afford to travel. So these stamps are a way for them to feel like they are going across the world experiencing different cultures. People can also go online to trade with others. This freaking hobby, this is so freaking boring. Who even does this anymore? What, collecting stamps? Are we for real? If you find it fun, please go ahead and do it. I'm not trying to discourage you to enjoy your hobby. It's a hobby at the end of the day, but all I'm saying is it's kind of lame. Go do like a cool backflip or something, and that's cool. Like most of the stamps nowadays, they're not even worth anything. In fact, I think like 95% of the stamps, they're just worth nothing. The most expensive stamp was the British Guiana 1C Magenta, which was sold for 8.3 million. I guess that's cool, but everything else is just worth nothing. I don't know, to me this is just so boring. Fun little cool fact. Stamps used to be a substitute currency back in the day, but now some expensive stamps are actually illegal to own because in America it is illegal to have plates worth money, and these stamps are literally just plates that are worth money. They have been used as a substitute currency before. So even you do get a cool stamp that's worth like 20 bucks, you can't even have it. Wow. Stamp collecting used to be really popular from the early 20th centuries to the late 1970s. Lots of kids had collections as they were really cheap to start. You can find these stamps literally anywhere, from stores offering them to sell for like $1 each, or sometimes when you get mail, there will be free stamps on those mail envelopes that you can just peel off and add to your collection. These were literally huge. Stamps were huge back in the day. You can almost think of it like the Pokemon cards for them back then. Pulling up to your friend with your stamp book and showing them is like joining a server and grow a garden, flexing your freaking plants or something. But if it was that popular back then, why is no one talking about it nowadays? Well, prices and interest in them went down due to the great inflations. So the 1970s was actually the golden age of stamp collecting, but at the same time, that was when we were getting into the great inflations in 1970s to late 1980s. People just had better money to spend on other things. And especially around this time was the introduction to better and easier hobbies to get kids into, like video games. Video games does not require any intellect to understand why these stamps are cool or how much they're worth, and they are really easy to get into. Also, stamps require you to continuously invest money into them, buying more stamps, building your collection, which costs money. So just buy video games. You buy it once, you can play it, it's super easy, kids got into it really easily. And also, the fact that hundreds of millions of stamps were printed, that drove the prices of stamps way down. And as time passes on, mailing via envelopes became less and less popular. I mean, look at it right now. We use emails and phones. I have not seen anyone mail letters to their families or friends, ever. But enough of talking about old people lame hobbies. Let's talk about something more extreme. Have you ever had the urge to iron your clothes, but at the same time, you kind of want to go swim underwater? Well, I have the perfect sport for you, my friend. I'd like to introduce you to extreme ironing. Invented by a man in the UK named Phil Shaw in 1997, he came home from work from a knitwear factory and wanted to iron his clothes. But at the same time, he wanted to also do rock climbing. So he thought, hey, why not do both? And this is when this legendary sport became a sport. This sport requires you to iron any garment or any clothes while doing something extreme. And I mean extreme. The more extreme it is, the more points you get. The rules are, you need an ironing board with at least 1 meter width and 30 centimeter length with legs. The iron itself must be made out of iron. You can iron any garment or clothing as long as the size is bigger than a sea towel. And there's no rules talking about where you can iron. You can iron anywhere. And I mean anywhere. On rivers, cars, upside down on a tree, mountains, on the side of mountains, underwater, behind a taxi cab, in the sky, surfing, riding a bike, on other people. This hobby is freaking hilarious. I can't tell if people are doing this as a joke or they're actually serious about it. The first and only Extreme Ironing World Championship was in Britain, consisting of 12 teams. This was in mid-September of 2002. There hasn't been another world championship of this sport, but the fact that it got so big that there was one, that's funny. I think that's funny. On March 28, 2011, a world record of extreme ironing underwater was officially set by the Dutch diving club De Watermen. The team consisting of 173 divers performed the task in an indoor swimming pool. That's honestly pretty impressive how they pulled that off. But those are some of the hobbies that I found that are kind of strange and would be kind of funny sharing to you guys because I've never heard of these before. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Bye!